Des. Always the talk of the town in the deltarune fandom. It's been this way for a while, but only after the Spamton ARG did I really see Des as important. Originally, I just thought she was a victim, and whatever she fell victim to is the important thing. But now, it seems like finding Des might be the goal of Chris's adventure. You know, outside of saving the world, normal hero stuff. Let's start from the beginning. Des was first name-dropped by Noelle in Chapter 1, saying that after Chris said that Ice-E was real and eats kids, that Des whacked them with a wiffle ball bat until they stopped lying. In Rudy's hospital room, there's a handmade angel doll made by Noelle and Des, which in Chapter 2 he says was made by Noelle and her sister, which is confirmation that Des is her sister. In Chapter 2, Des is said to have gone with Noelle, Azrael, and Chris to the forest behind the graveyard. They never found anything, but Noelle was always scared and wiped her tears in Azrael's jacket. Remember this for later. Noelle also says that Des said she would take her to a big city like the one in the Dark World, and since this never happened, it's our first sign that Des isn't around anymore. The puzzle that is done here during this also spells out December. December shows up again as the final word in the spelling bee, which makes Noelle unable to speak, and she loses. This says that the disappearance of Des was probably a long time ago based on the outlines. Talking to Rudy says that Noelle only has her mother now. I think this is in Chapter 2, which is absolute confirmation that Des isn't around anymore. Most people assumed that Des was dead at this point. It wasn't until later people uncovered some more info and developed better theories. If you intentionally screw up one of the mouse puzzles, Noelle says something like, if Des was here she would smack you, but I cannot for the life of me find this footage for some reason. I've definitely seen it on YouTube before. I wouldn't have known it existed if it wasn't on YouTube, but it doesn't really matter because the point I was trying to prove with it has been confirmed by other things. In Noelle's room, which is created from her search history, there's a calendar where every day is the 25th of December, and this is because Des's full name is December Holiday. Now, if Des was dead, why would Noelle be constantly searching her name on the internet? Des isn't dead, at least not that Noelle knows of, or anyone else, but Des is missing. There's one last mention of Des from what I can remember, which is Noelle wishing Des could see the giant baseball moon, which as of now doesn't seem to mean much. Then the Spamton ARG happened. First up is the whole Ice-E sighting thing, which I did a funny little animation on if you want to know what that was like. But at the end it says enjoy these sightings from her sister, and the page is an error. This would imply that Ice-E is actually an important part of Des's disappearance, or that she's just another one of these entities that's being removed from reality, just like Gaster and all them. Is Ice-E real cryptid is one of the things Noelle searches after all. Chris and Azrael seem to really believe that Ice-E is some monster because they also refuse to use the Ice-E body spray. And based on this amazingly horrifying theory that I'm going to link in the description, Ice-E might play a much bigger role in Deltarune than we expect. Either continually load the Spamton main page, or click the second to last cupboard in the millionth visitor page, you'll get this weird blue chair with a jacket, which makes it, and clicking on it makes it glitch into darkness and make water sounds with the caption, well, what if it could get darker than dark? This could either be important lore about the Dark Worlds, a hint at how messed up the future story of Deltarune will get, or another Gaster reference. Nothing here is explicitly related to Des, but it's definitely important. This blue chair shows up in all of the Holiday family related places, so I think it's safe to call it the Holiday family chair. Either it's Noelle's or Des's because Rudy and Carol already have one. Going back to the line of Noelle wiping her tears with Azzy's jacket, and this jacket belonging to some unknown character, only makes the possible interpretations even more depressing. Also, there's a jump scare with the pink and yellow eyes. If you click on it a bunch, we've already established that these eyes probably don't belong to Spamton and belong to Mike or Tenna. So they also might play a bigger role in Deltarune than we expect. Because it would imply that they're somehow behind whatever happened in this moment of this chair, which most people assume is either the death of Rudy or some other depressing time. Because he's literally behind the chair. On a more direct note, if you type deltarune.com/des into the URL, you get this red guitar that plays a remix of Lost Girl called Find Her. This is absolute confirmation that Des is alive, at least to the point of us playing Deltarune. What's creepy is Noelle says the puppet scarf, which is made of Spamton Neo's wires, feels like guitar strings. I always thought that either Mike or Gaster were the ones puppeting Spamton, but could Des have been the puppet master all along somehow? In the Spamton Q&A, Spamton again says where find her, but that's about it. For some reason, everyone is... Oh yeah, and Spamton says that he was unable to actually get any information on her. Yet again, this symbol of Des just being wiped from reality somehow, despite everyone still remembering her. A government conspiracy that they're covering up. Anyway, for some reason everyone's collectively agreed that Des has brown/black hair, probably because of Rudy, and she's the one that's speaking through Spamton and the unused slash dialogue. There's hundreds and thousands of possible theories reaching anywhere from fourth wall breaks and Gaster to she ran off to college with Azrael. While all of these are plausible based on evidence, what about actual storytelling? What was Undertale's story? When you set aside Sans and the meta stuff and Gaster and all that, Undertale is a story about a broken family. Asgore, Toriel, Azrael, and Kara. Everything that happens is a result of one of these characters. If you look at Deltarune, the Holiday family might follow a similar path, just not the same story, of course, because Toby wouldn't just make the same story twice. Let's look at the most important parallel. The Angel. In Undertale, Azrael fulfills the prophecy and becomes the Angel. In Deltarune, angels are highly associated with Noelle and Des. So, which one is it? I'll let the comments debate it. But I just thought of something. This isn't in my script, but I just thought of something. Spamton is trying to reach heaven and is being puppeted from a being that comes from above, who is likely Des or something related to Des, which could, since the strings are coming from above and not below, when most people assume that Des is trapped down somewhere deep and dark or something. But if Des' guitar is up in heaven, and Des herself might also be up in heaven, then that's more evidence that Des could be the angel. But anyway, I really need to just finish this video so I can post it on Christmas. I'll have a stream sometime later where I just talk more about everything about the Holiday family, because there's a lot of stuff, so many possible theories, and there are some things I wanted to say in this video, but I don't want to just be stealing Jaru's theory or anyone else's, because I didn't come up with the conclusion. He did. So, I just agree with it, mostly. But, there's so many possibilities. The evidence can go in so many different directions. Anyway, that's my Christmas special for this year, sort of. Merry Christmas!